Here we are, winning generation, and you are part of it. So let's stop losing and start winning, and only lose the shit that we do not longer need anymore. I don't know anyone better to actually topic that we decided to upon today, which is stop hiding. As Roger, Roger, hiding for like how
Yes.
long has it been?
Do you want me to start?
I
Is that
think
what
he's
you
frozen.
is that what you said?
He's frozen.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
You're
I think you should start, Roger,
okay.
with
All
your
right.
message.
Um,
Really
okay. I'm just going to talk about it because I looked at the message I received last year and it says you've hidden long enough. We all hide. When we come to the world, we have no clue as to who we're going to become. And who we become is something through our consciousness. And that's going to be different for every single person. And our job then is to figure out ours and to start to live from that place. Sometimes we don't do that very easily. And I didn't do it very easily all of my life. And at this age, and I thought, how could I be discovering this now? And many people might be feeling that because we're moving through really great energetic shifts that are happening in our world. And so I didn't tell you this, but what I did last night, I said I had to because I sometimes I just hide from the information that's coming. I think we all do in a certain way, but I never thought that I was going to do what I'm doing. I never thought I was going to. It was never my intention to be a channeler or be public with it or anything. And then to discover that I had been receiving information that was aligned with the changes in our world, and that's just what was causing me to heal and understand things was just it was a challenge. And I put up something. I just did another video. I said I'm not crazy and my life makes sense. Because see, years ago I started to recognize there was something I was coming to understand that I couldn't say, but I said at some point it's going to make sense. And that's for everyone. Every single person, we get to that point where our life or what we're here to do starts to make sense. And it's aligned with what's happening in our world as well. And so I sat down and I said, okay, let me go back to these earlier channeling sessions because I only started live channeling in 2021. I never did it before that. And I took the transcripts and I put it into my Gemini, AI, and said, okay, is this aligned? And it went through every single one. And they said, you're receiving information that is aligned with global events that were occurring and the shifts in the galaxy. And I never studied any of that. I never studied astrology or astronomy or anything, but it was coming out that way. And so accepting that was difficult because I'd never seen it and I couldn't have known it actually. And that's interesting. We will develop certain things and we have technology that then tells us more. I couldn't have known this until this technology came about to artificial intelligence to be able to show me that that's what was happening. Now I felt certain things, but I could never know what what was happening. But now I do. And down to today and the things that we're moving through, especially in this country, in the United States, we're uncovering all kinds of things. And people are, but that's part of rebirth. That's part of evolution. We have to uncover all of our old stuff. And I had to do it in my own life. That's what we each do in our own lives. And so the world is doing the same thing, and we're part of it. So here we are.
Hmm. So I missed it again. Anja, can you like I just dropped for like the first
Oh,
2.5 minutes or so. Um, it's the internet. Like yesterday I had the same issue. Um, just Anja, give me a short review of like the meaning of what I just talked about. Or like the the nuggets.
Yeah, he just explained what he posted today in his message. And how everything made sense when he started using AI. That is kind of the message. And also, I want to add that I read today's blog post,
hmm
um, and it was really interesting. Um, what you wrote, that the purpose of everybody, like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? Well, your purpose is self-realization. So
Mm-hmm.
for each and every person on planet Earth, the main purpose is self-realization.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? That means that, yeah, that we remember who we really are, that we show up in the world as the most authentic version as ourselves.
Right.
And that was really, really cool. Yeah, I really liked the blog post.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we sometimes hide behind social conditioning, or most of us hide behind those conditionings, me included. Why I'm telling this is because I'm just observing how I was hiding behind it,
Mm-hmm.
and how I even been hiding some parts of who I am, what I'm here to talk about within the last 2 years, 2 and a bit years since I'm back in Germany. And it's very difficult if you can't express yourself in the surroundings that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Even though what I've learned through all of that is compassion. Because you can't talk with anyone about everything, and you don't have to. Though in this process of like you basically figuring out who to talk to, what to talk about, and what kind of way to talk about the things that you actually want to talk about, or actually the message that you want to bring across,
Mm-hmm.
you learn to become so compassionate within yourself and with others if you really do it in the right way. Because we all hide some certain things, and there are hidden meanings, hidden thoughts, hidden intentions behind so many things on earth that we experienced in the last, I don't know, since I can remember, in my life at least. And I think you agree, like there's an underlying message. And this is also what this podcast is about. Like, we're all sharing the same message that's hidden behind the words that we're talking about. And yeah, Anja, I would like you to continue, maybe share a little bit of your own journey and the process of kind of coming out and just like sharing what you've been talking about now every day, kind of.
Um, it's a little bit different because I just showed up. I walked into the fire, and of course they all thought I'm, weird, crazy. What are you saying? Especially in business world, because I started in business world about heart energy, about energy, and all that kind of stuff. But then, you know what? At first, it was very difficult, but then the louder I was, and I wasn't really, I don't know, I wasn't really stressing out anymore, like what people think of me.
Mm-hmm.
And the louder I was, more people, you know, saw me that I exist and they reached out. So basically, my tribe started forming and I started finding them and they started finding me. So it wasn't like that I was hiding. I was never intentionally hiding. I really wanted to show up. I really
Mhm.
wanted to say. And then in the
Love it.
process, I did understand. I mean, I learned that not everybody get what I'm saying,
Right.
which was kind of frustrating. But I wasn't hiding. Really, I'm not the person who would be hiding anything. If it's
Hmm.
like I was just showing up, and then it's like whatever is thrown at me, I deal with it. It's painful. It's difficult, but I don't know how to hide.
Well, no, that's and
I
my
don't
hiding,
know how to hide. I like it.
which is perfect. And so, and there's going to be, and Anya's going to see this tomorrow on her birthday because I'm going to do the messages for that, and it's called. And they said yes, we did give you a pathway to success, and they're going to answer that question because we're all questioning that. And I was supposed to make this so much bigger. I was supposed to be the person who could talk about these things. I wasn't going to do it in public. That's just what it was. But again, it wasn't the time. until now. As we see the big shift that's happening in our world, now people will pay attention. They never would have
Mm-hmm.
heard me before, and I wasn't ready. And that's the other thing. We get to this place of readiness within ourselves, which means we've integrated what we came to offer. And that's every person. And so mine was specifically to bring through a work that could help more people understand who they are and help our world progress. That felt too big, and I couldn't say it, but now I have to because it's been shown. I've been outed. That's what it is.
Mm. There's just so much present for me in this moment. Though the thing with the hiding, and Anja says like she doesn't know how to hide. It's we cannot hide anything, really, if we're honest. And on the energetic level, we can't hide anything because we're always been watched over, looked after. Like we're never alone. And when I came to realize this, that I'm actually always being observed. And if I have difficulties to understand that, for like any one of our listeners,
Mhm.
we're observing ourselves all the
That's
time.
it. Yeah.
There's a part of us that's the observer,
Mhm.
and you cannot hide from yourself. We may try to certain degrees, or tried to bring it in the past, but we cannot hide any longer. We cannot look away if things go wrong. We cannot lie to ourselves because we are in a time now where the mirror is just right in front of our face, and we got to look at everything that happens, the relationships that we have, how we deal with difficulties, how we deal with stress, how we deal with like opposing opinions. Like it is so important that we learn to find a common ground because we're always watching over ourselves. Like there's a part in us that's always watching us. So when we lie to someone else, as an example, or to ourselves even, we are aware of that and it doesn't feel good. And we can look away for a week or 2 weeks, but it becomes more and more uncomfortable. And things get stuck in our systems. We get ill, we have physical symptoms, our eyes may lose on the light, like we're getting, I don't know, we're losing ourselves, or maybe it seems as if we lose ourselves.
And
So,
yeah,
Roger, what's present? I can you
you're saying all the well, no, this is exactly why we're here, and why the three of us are speaking, and especially these different ages that we are. It is we're at a moment in our human history where we're attempting to reach a higher state of consciousness globally. And the only way we can do that is if we look at all the ugly stuff we didn't want to see before. And most people aren't willing to do that. It was so fascinating. We had the Super Bowl here yesterday, and there was a Bad Bunny was the performer at the Super Bowl. And so and today I was on Facebook and I seen all these different comments going about, it's all over the place about this shouldn't he shouldn't have been there or something. It's like because he didn't, the language wasn't correct. When do we decide which people are correct and who should be here? You see, this is what we're figuring out within ourselves and also in our world. And so the people who would come up with the judgments, that's something within them. And I had to acknowledge that within myself. I had to look at that because we all have it. Everybody on the planet has been affected by some form of racism or misogyny. It's just how our society was. And so we will decide if we're going to deal with it within ourselves and come to this higher state of understanding so we can live better lives and contribute to the world. And that's what we're all moving through. So it looks, and this is the one thing on this date in 2012, they gave me a message about chaos, unity and chaos. This couldn't have been more perfect for this particular day because we always come to unity after we allow ourselves to move through the chaos a bit and answer those questions that are coming up for each of us.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, there's the women thing that's really coming up presently too in this country. So we're going to move through a little more of that, but it's all to come to a higher a state of balance within us and within the world.
Like it's so like the women thing for sure. Like it is a feminine movement I see.
Mhm.
But it's a feminine movement within all of us. So it's
Right.
not just about the women, but it's the men actually learning to embody their feminine too. There are more women embodying their masculine than there are men embodying their feminine. And we it's like we're in a society where women become more and more masculine because they think they gotta do, push, 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 push. And men are kind of losing their own security in that because women think, okay, yeah, we gotta do it all. We don't need the man. And this makes men very uncomfortable because women are very strong in their own way. But like, why is it this way? It's because we've been out of balance for such a long time.
Yeah.
And the masculine, like all the males on earth denied their feminine nature or mistreated the feminine nature in whatever way. We don't have to talk about this one in this podcast. I think we see enough going on in America right now, based on that. And like, where do we start? I think is to learn that we say Mother Nature. Why do we say Mother Nature? Anyone got an answer from you guys? Like, Roger, what do you think? Like,
Because
why do
it's
we
about
call
the
it Mother
nurturing,
Nature?
because that aspect, when we think of a mother, it's about nurturing something, and that's
Hmm.
basically the feminine quality as well, and that's just
Hmm.
what comes about. But for the when I started doing the channeling, several years ago, Wilhelm would take us back. All you have to do is look at your history, because see, when we go back to history, we can see how things were set up, and then we kept shifting it a bit, and then because we started to find that there was a better way of accomplishing something, because we evolve as humans, and we do that in our consciousness, and we learn new things. And you can go back and look at here in the US, for instance, women only got the right to vote even little more than 100 years ago. So you think, why? What? Where did that come from? But we keep figuring new things. My people, slaves, we gave up slaves not that long ago as well, because it was a shift in consciousness. We said, oh, wait a minute, maybe we could do something differently. Maybe we could live in a better society if we started to accept ourselves, which means accepting other people as well. The one thing that
Hmm.
came through that we were going to move through at this time was going to be judgment. That was going to be the big thing that we're going to see come up, is judgment and blame. It's going to be everyone else's fault. And then we're going to use judgment. And I think, oh, wait a minute, maybe that's me. Maybe I have to look at that.
The nurturing part. Like, I mean, you said it at the beginning of what you've just talked about, and it's that it's exactly what you do as well with the
Mhm.
words that you spoke just now. You're nurturing, you're providing this energy that we
Mhm.
can do something with. Like it's the wisdom, it's the compassion. But why do you have that as a man? It's because you've done the inner work and you really looked at yourself deeply enough in order for you to learn to nurture yourself. What does it mean to nurture yourself?
And but also it was a component of my personality. And everyone has different elements of their personalities that will come through at different times. And because I'm nothing like my brothers, I'm not, I mean, well, somewhat, but we're all very, very different. So we have to find those parts of ourselves. And that's what we're always doing. That's what self-actualization is about, and mastery. It's like, we're not going to look like anyone else. We're not going to have the same ideas, beliefs, any of it. But when we come to the ones that serve us, we know that they're doing that because we feel better. We're not as afraid. We're not we don't have that kind of lack of confidence, but that can be
Hmm.
a long journey. but it's still helpful.
There's there's a thing I hear Billy Carson talking about. He said, you know that it's right if your energy raises after you're done with what you did. And I was observing that, and there are differences to that as well. There are things that in this present moment, I feel raised by what I just did,
Hmm.
but it loses its value over time. And there are certain things you do them, and there is like a constant. It stays with you. It's just like a calm vibration. It's a very pure vibration. It doesn't mean that you're overly excited all about it, but there is some underlying frequency that just stays. And I think what we gotta learn is to do the things that fulfill us in the long term,
Hmm.
rather than seeking fulfillment or pleasure or pain even. Some people seek pain, some people seek pleasure, and they're just looking for the next situation where they can be in this rush and this like, energy. So yeah, it's a very interesting time. I think yeah,
We
and
have,
then we go back to Anja.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. This is good. Anya, I want you to talk about programming, the programming that you might have had that you started to recognize when you now that you might have received when you were younger.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this one is probably for girls.
Hmm.
Most of us is like, oh, good girl, good girl. You are a good girl. Yeah.
Hmm.
If you're gonna do this, you're a good girl. You're gonna get a reward. And that program is really, really, really powerful because if you are restless, if you do something, like against rules or whatever, then you are outcast, then you are a black sheep, then you are not good, then you are
Hmm.
not good girl, then you are bad girl. And yeah, that program in me especially was really, really strong. But the the more they put me in the box,
Hmm.
the more, like I went wild. Like I was like completely out of the box, and I was just claiming my space everywhere else, just not in the box.
Hmm.
So when I was studying, for example, when I was in school, I mean, I was always, the thing was that wherever I was, whether that was in school or, in a job or whatever, I was among the best ones. Yeah.
Hmm.
But I always played by my own rules. I always went out of the box, and it was so exhausting because I wanted to expand. I was the best one, but I was like playing by my own rules, and they didn't like it.
And
Like,
see,
okay, yeah. So
this
that was really, really, that's like a story of my life. Yeah.
this is why you're here because see, because you helped me. Because see, I had to play within the rules. I couldn't do anything that was going to stand out. I couldn't be this guy who talked about these other things. I had because you can't stand out. You don't want to be seen, and so that was ingrained in me, and I stayed afraid so much of my life because I can't talk about stuff I know or that I'm seeing or understanding, and so we keep passing that on to other generations. Now I can say because my generation was so different and so much older, and where I grew up and my family and all of that, we were told to keep quiet, don't be seen, don't put yourself out there too much. Bad things might happen, and so then we keep that consciousness because everything is consciousness, and then we keep passing it on. And so I was told that I was supposed to break free from that, but that was still challenging. I needed other help. So that's why you guys are here.
Yeah, I can feel it. Absolutely. I can feel this energy that we are really supporting each other, in
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
Which
really,
is
really
what we're
cool.
all meant to do, but we're getting there
In our
slowly
Yeah.
but
in our
surely.
own in our own way, yeah. Yeah, it's a fascinating topic, like the beliefs that we choose to or that we're born into. Like we may
Mhm.
not even have chosen them consciously, but because we've been surrounded by them, and our body, our system just got structured in that way. Even though in the time when we're born, or like the beliefs that our mother had, you know, inside when we've been inside the womb, like they all influenced us in some way. So
Hmm.
it's a very deep topic, I think, those things that hit us when we're children, and once we're an adult, we kind of start seeing those patterns step by step and kinda rewinding or reprogramming ourselves so we can actually be who we want to be rather than what society puts on us. Yeah. Hmm.
It's also the time that whenever we happen to live, okay, the time that we're living in is always offering us something to break free to the next version of who we're meant to become. Every single person,
Hmm.
it'll be different, and some people will choose to stay in um, a well, a different place, let's say, something that doesn't seem like it's evolved or enlightened or whatever. But then that gives us something to see and to look at to remember who we are, which is what those messages were today about remembering who we are. And we can never judge or know what another person is thinking, how they were programmed, what they came up with. Because I talked about this before. I said, no one is born to be racist. No one is born to be misogynist. That doesn't happen. It's just ideas that we pass on to one another. And we decide if we're going to hold on to them or move beyond them. And as building a healthy person, society, we know that those things they feel terrible when we're holding them. And so
Hmm.
we have to move through them.
Hmm. And Roger, tell us what can happen when we keep holding them.
We get sick, we're depressed because we're suppressing some innate natural thing that's coming about. And we can feel it. And I talked about I didn't understand why I was depressed when I was younger. I did not know because it didn't make sense, but I was. And I went through it so many different times because I was withholding. I was not allowing. I was wanted to break through from the programming, but I wasn't allowing it to happen, and I needed to develop that within myself, as we each do. That's what self-actualization is about, or personal development. That's what we're all doing. We just do it in maybe different ways, but everyone is doing it.
Hmm. Like we have some viewers I know, one is watching us all the time, Sonja Sonnenschein. If you have anything you would like to share or ask or anything, like we would be happily answering and joining the conversation. Ich sage das einmal kurz auf Deutsch, weil sie ist Deutsch. Wenn du irgendwas hast, wovon eine Frage oder was du teilen möchtest, basierend auf dem Thema, bitte schreib's in die Kommentare. Wir werden darauf eingehen. And for me, it's a fascinating topic, like the hiding.
Mhm.
Like I think I told the story before when I was 10 or so, and I had this first encounter with God, or the first like large one. I had some before that, but like it really hit me when I was told that you have to learn to be what it means to be human.
Mm.
And this was like before I was hiding. I was hiding because I didn't knew how to express. I had all of this stuff that I actually wanted to express,
Mhm.
but I had no words for it. So it's so difficult for us as children to express our creativity, to express our creative energy if we're in a surrounding that's not supporting that, because they themselves don't know how to express themselves, how to
Right.
be creative, how to express in a healthy manner, and I think Isabel talked about this in the last episode, like to start writing, like for me also drawing, or in this way, like talking about things. It's so healthy to learn to express ourselves when we're adults because we may not have had the words for it, or the hold, we haven't We may have felt like no one has our back when we were younger.
Right.
But now, like, we're here to show you that you have someone who believes in you, you know, that you have people who are with you and got your back, you know, like there's no human on this earth that is alone. And no one should ever feel alone. No one should ever feel helpless because there's always help. There's always love. And, you know, also the intention that I have with this podcast is to help those who feel helpless, who may don't know how to step up in whatever way. It might be spiritually, it might be financially, it might be, you know, it can be so many different ways on how to step up our game. And I know Anja is talking a lot about stepping up our games in such an incredible way, like with your spirit. Just show us some of your spirit. Like just just get something in it.
It's about becoming authentic, and it's a process, and we'll each do it in different ways and at different times. So, but just to understand that that's what's occurring for each of us.
Yeah. And I will never shut up about the fact that we are all multidimensional energy beings with limitless power to create our own reality. And we are the most badass souls in the universe because we have decided to incarnate here on planet Earth in this time when we are all contributing to the rising of the consciousness of the earth, of the galaxy, of the whole universe. Because when the earth is expanding, when humanity is expanding, everything else is expanding. So that's why, you know, it's very beneficial to everybody else as well. And it's such a, for me, like when I embody that fact, that's my truth. Like it cannot be anything else. So whoever comes in my energy field, they will sooner or later they will feel that, you know, consciously or subconsciously. And now people are coming in my energy field just because they want to remember. They kind of know, but it's like, oh shit, I want to remember, I want to step into my power, I want to really know who I am. I'm this energy being who is here, you know, to self realize and to not suffer, to not struggle, to not, you know, work 9 to 5 and just, you know, like die at the end, I don't know, of like, you know, 90
Yes.
years or whatever, and look back and like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of
Yes.
life did I have? You know,
Well,
okay,
again,
did I have a house? Did I have a job? Did I have a family? Okay, check,
Mm-hmm.
check, check. Come on.
Keep
No.
going, keep going, keep going. I
Yeah,
like it.
again, that's the programming. And so we have to decide that we're going to move out of the individual self-imposed prisons that we've created around ourselves. And it's going to be different for
exactly.
each person. So, but that's where
And
that's what we're doing.
and the
How do
thing that
you
we, I mean, the fact that we are talking about this, it's so
Mhm.
powerful because a lot of people, they don't know, like you said, Jarne, they don't know how to express themselves.
Mhm.
And sometimes they will be quiet, they will stay quiet, but in them that something will shift. Something will shift when they will hear something, when they will hear sound, or they will, you know, just feel the energy. So that's why it's really important for everybody to speak up because they are influencing somebody, they are affecting somebody in their energy field. They are not even aware that they are actually guiding people, even though there's like, "Oh, little, I'm nobody, blah blah blah." No, you are here. If you are here now on planet Earth, you are here to guide people. You are here to guide people to
hmm.
higher consciousness.
Like Roger, like you were just saying that like that we self-exposed ourselves to those beliefs. What do you tell someone who can't do anything with that? So
Um,
someone who doesn't know that they or like who can't see that they actually chose all of that because they've been born into circumstances that have just been horrifying.
that is something that takes a while to accept. It took a while for me to accept what I was doing and where I've been placed. And so we all we can do is pass on whatever clarity, whatever awareness that we come to others. And then they will pick it up at their time. We've all done the same thing. We would listen to other people. We picked up information. We said, okay, that resonates and I understand that aspect. But then we forget and we go back, and it's just this constant process. But it's the same when we do in society as a whole, in our civilization. We're all moving through it. And so, but now is the time, specific time, because of the energetic changes that are occurring, where more of us are being motivated now to remember who we are and to come into
Mm-hmm.
greater self ownership.
Fuck yeah. And it's time to swear, like to just like allow ourselves to swear without meaning to hurt, you know, like like this video that you posted um in your community, Anja, better souls. Like it's just like that. We gotta swear. We gotta allow ourselves to say those words. Like fuck that. Like, you know, like fucking badass souls.
We'll
Like I
see
mean,
again.
just to be that. Like
Yeah,
it is not even something bad to talk in this way. We're just learning again to fucking express ourselves no matter what other people think of us.
we'll see. And sometimes some people, you probably would. That helps you to use that and to move out of a restriction. So it's going to be different for every person, and other people will
Exactly.
hear it and be triggered in a different way. So it's everybody's again. It's everybody has to find that comfort place within themselves, and I know that everything is helping us to do that, but I know that that takes a while for us to reach that kind of an understanding, and
Mm-hmm.
but we're more of us are moving there. So this
Mm-hmm.
is good.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
Thank you.
we are giving each other permission to be too loud, to be too
Oh yeah.
much.
Mhm.
This is like, and it
Also.
doesn't matter whether that's, in what we're saying, what we're showing, how we're acting. Like, if we are not harming
Mm.
anyone intentionally, then let's just do it. Let's just do
It's
it. Like,
it's
express
like
ourselves.
what I'm talking about a lot these days is it is secondary what you're talking about than how you talk about it. Because people can have a calm voice and be pleasing to you with what they say or like how they say it or with how they say it. But what they say is actually something different. So we gotta find the alignment in our own words, intentions. And like, so what I think, what I feel, and what I do must be in alignment. Most of the people think one day and do another, or think and feel that one thing is right for them, but they're doing something different. So they're in misalignment. Or someone is actually wanting to manipulate you, maybe even unconsciously. And this person is like actually like feeding your pain, but and it's really targeting that spot in you unconsciously, maybe even unconsciously, maybe consciously, who knows. And the words are kind of getting you there, and you feel, oh, this person is with me. But we're going into self-pity. And like, this is such a deep topic that I'm contemplating about because I think this is also what keeps those structures that we have on Earth as they are. Is because we're falling into self-pity. And other people recognize our pain and just like going back in it. And we're kind of addicted to that pain collectively. So self-pity is something I wanted to talk about for a few days now with you guys. It's just something very important for us to do, I guess.
All right. So we'll do it next time.
We
Whatever it is.
continue for
Yes.
sure,
Yes.
for sure. So thanks, Anja, for getting that spirit in here. Um, that was necessary. So let's
Thank you.
fucking do it. Guys, reading generation, we are it. You and we and humanity. Like seriously, we are it. We are one humanity. It's time to show up as one. It is time to leave this fucking restriction behavior, those limitations, stop owning ourselves, start speaking from the heart, with all of our heart, with all of our body, embodying who we came here to be. Like, we are amazing, every single one of us. Like, children come to this place and know that they're amazing if they're not really in very, very horrible situations, which some of us sadly have. But like, you know, like when we're really in our childish behavior, we are silly. We are playing. We are fucking around, so to say. You know, we are imagining. So let's start imagining a future for humanity that's actually supportive. We are one single organism. Let's organize each other so my system, my organism strengthens yours strengthens theirs, and so we can all kind of come together and build this network, like a huge network of souls on Earth, of human beings who support each other, who share resources, who share wisdom, who share love. This is what this entire thing is all about. To learn, to remember who we are, that we are one single organism, that we all come from the same place and we're all going back to the same place. And let's do it all together.
Right.
Not one after one after one after one. How about we just take our hands and cross this line all together? Like, this is what I believe to be here for. I would die for this mission. I won't die until I'm finished. And this is true, you
Right.
know, and let's fucking do it.
Alrighty.
Let's play
Well,
together.
hey, thank you so much. It was great being
Yes,
here.
sir.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Peace.
Love
See you.
you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Yes. Love, love, love.